Hello, greetings. This is Gilles. I wanted to come and wish you a good day today. For we're in it's called the hill of the birds, and there is plenty of birds around. They came very close earlier. They're so wonderful. They're singing all around, and I wanted to speak today about the Lion's Gate that is going closer. It's on the August 8th. It's a very important portal, very very essential. It is Sirius, the Sun, and the galactic center that will be fully aligned. It is the time of the time of harvest, the time of bliss, of great celebration, and they will bring great energy. So much is being released with this full moon that we just passed, and the exercise to do with the Lion's Gate it will be opening from now to the 8th, and then 3 days later after the 8th it will continue to be activated. Is to imagine yourself, to see yourself with a great sphere of white light, to envision, to imagine this great sphere of white light, and there is a marble pathway that leads all the way to the light, and it will be much easier to visualize that, and be in front of the light. I forgot to say that in the French video, but there is a lion so do not be afraid of the lion that supervises the process. It will not hurt you. It's a sign of strength and power and nobility. Before we can actually move into this light, we have to pass through. There is 2 statues of lions on each side that are looking at each other. And as we pass through this portal, these 2 lions, we look at the one on the right and we see our eternal past. And then we will look at the one on the left and we see our eternal future. And then the energy converge into the eternal now, where the past and the future become integrated. And from there we can move towards the lion. He will let us pass through. And so, because everything is now, for Spirit is showing me my future, and sometimes I say I want information about what's going on now, but it's not about that. It's about being in the future enough so it becomes now. For what we want is already been what we ask God, what God has promised will be given. It is just a matter of alignment. And so I hope you enjoyed this portal. It will continue to manifest and keep on working with those energies. We'll pull a few cards to see with the card of the Akash. To see what the birds are kind of nice. They're singing along. They're such a great singer, and they sing wonderful song, and then poof, they fly away. They are wonderful. So I'm going to read the 7 chakras. The chakras are energetic centers that are aligned on the vertical axis, and we have on the right and left Mars and Venus, the Ida and Pingala, and they all align with the spine, from the root to the crown. There is this alignment. Eventually, we'll be able to ignite the double flows, the double snakes all the chakras will accelerate. We want to cleanse them all, each and individually. When you think to do that, or colon angels with special tuning forks, so they can tune in your chakras, and so those chakras are powerful energy centers that are part of our light body, electric light body. And so we'll start with the base. The base is where there is all the challenges. It's the base that supports the whole energetic system. So it's important to clear up our base, to do what we can to clean up our life as much as possible, to become like a clear vessel for Spirit. And at the base we have the lessons and good deed. For the lessons and good deeds, once we learn the lesson, we harvest the good deeds. So we've been doing a lot of base works, root base, and it's ruled by Pluto. Then the second chakra is the navel. It's right below the umbilical cord, where we had this navel. So it's the sacral chakra, and it's a chakra of harmonization, chakra of sexuality. It is ruled by Saturn, and it rules all the earth and astral planes. And so here we have transport. It's the card of transport. So it is very much about allowing ourselves to stay on track, and to let ourselves to sit comfortably in the ascension train, the Paradise Express, and to allow ourselves. So everything on the earth is being aligned. Then the 3rd chakra is our power center. It is a solar plexus. It is ruled by Jupiter, and for most humans, we'll only use an orange stick that goes from the base to the plexus, solar plexus. But as light workers, we've been working through the heart as well. as well, and be very receptive to the 3 chakras that are above. So those are the main chakras. And here in our power center we have the bride and groom. So there is this deep, we have been calling on this deep powerful relationship where everything will flow and be natural and be pleasant and be harmonious, and will be love and excitement. Then our heart chakras is ruled by the sun, and it is a neutral chakra. It connects us to the universe of the Creator, and we want to remove from our heart everything that is not love. And here we have the monk or the nun. So it means not to dissipate our energy, but to dissipate our energy with past things that are no longer serving us. But it's also about disconnecting these old wishes that we made in past life about celibacy or poverty. Those were old parameters. We want to be abundant and flowing, but we do not want to dissipate our energy, to keep our energy for when we need it, to be in a saving mode as much as possible for it. And then above that there is I'm not putting any card, but this is the sacred heart chakra that is in between the throat chakra and the heart chakra. The chakra needs to be like the heart chakra. Is important to imagine it flowing in the front of you, but also in the back of you, and imagine like a figure 8 that merge in your heart chakra, and eventually there will be a connection. The sacred heart chakra will open, and there will be a constant flow of love between the Creator. It is where the I Am presence resides, in this sacred heart. And so there is all the kind of treasures that God has put there for us. We'll come to discover that, and it is connected to the throat chakra, which is our communication chakra. It is also very important to see what comes into our body right now, because it is conditioning our life. Everything that we feed ourselves is conditioning our life on some level, as well as all the words that come out of our mouth. And here we have biblical, so it's going to be very powerful. It's going to be very integrated. It's going to be it's going to be divinely inspired. It's going to be it is part of a plan, and so just become one with the plan of God, and you'll be able to because you have your part in that, and you just need to play your part, whatever that is. You have to follow your heart, to listen to that and communicate those good energies, for it is the end of time. Then the throat chakra is ruled by Chiron. Then we have the third eye, the psychic center, the center of the brain. We have which is ruled by Neptune. It is the seat of our consciousness. Is where everything happens, pretty much. There is the Buddha revealed. There is the celestial sphere, the cosmic sphere, the earth sphere, and the hells below. For the root is connected to all the underworlds as well. We need to clear that up, and the Buddha didn't even conceive the root chakra because he didn't need to. He had cleared it up. So his chakras were just more about the aura emanation, and as the higher chakras as well. And so here we have it is very important. The 6 and 7 chakra are very, very important, because we want to concentrate our focal point on this center of vision. This stargate is where it's happening. And here we have the vessels. The vessels, it's adventure, it's crossing the big ocean, it's transcending, it's about adventure, it's about discovery, it's about so many things. And then the crown chakra, it's good to concentrate our thoughts on the crown chakra, because it's the door to the sky. For the Buddha called it the lotus in the 1,000 petals. It's where once the soul is incarnated, it resides there on this crown chakra. It is also how we communicate to the higher realm, and so it is the door. Once this door is open, our soul can actually live a lot easier, can live and come in and out of our body with a greater ease. And here we have the angels. How wonderful that is! For it is we are being blessed with the gift of angelic light, and so the crown chakra is being illuminated with this light. For every day, we want to work on clearing up, and tuning into our chakra system to eventually, so they can all fuse into this pillar of light. Wow, we're beautiful cards today. And in the earth chakra below our feet, for we have chakras in our hands and in our feet as well. There needs to be a constant flow of light. You can turn your hands towards the sun, and you will feel the integration, for there are etheric crystals in your hands and in your feet. And so here we have what connects us to Mother Earth is forgiveness. It's the card of forgiveness. So it is important to forgive ourselves and to forgive others in order to find that freedom. And on the soul star chakra, which is above our head, we share with our higher self. It's like a silver star that's invisible, but it's like about 1 foot above our head, so in centimeters. And here we have the card of Celtics, Celt. for it is about this connection to the magic world, the magic kingdom, the elementals, the Devek, the Elohim, all the Garden of Eden, all this magic world of nature, and you can connect to the Lord Merlin. You can connect to, there is all kind of ascended master that works with those elemental kingdoms, and it's also the magic of plants. Soon we're going to discover that within nature there is plants that heal every illness that man has created. So we'll come to realize that, and we'll find better ways to than pharmaceutical. For now, I still use that, but some people I don't use it all that much, but practically never. But soon we're going to be able to replace that, and also to connect to those sacred memory of all those teachings of the druids and all the natural spirits. When we finish with a song, it's a song about how we enjoy music, for music makes life better, and it's and then I'm going to pull 4 cards with the Tarot of Osho. It's called Piano Man. It goes like this. It's 9 o'clock on the Saturday, the regular crowd shuffling. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore youngest man clothes. La 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 da da da, la la da da da, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, where we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Now John at the bar is a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke and to light up your smoke, but there's someplace that he'd rather be. He says, Bill, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Well, I'm sure that I could be a movie star if I could get out of this place. Oh la 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 la. Now Paul is a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Yes, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, where we're all in the mood for a melody. You've got us feeling alright. It's a pretty good crowd for a Saturday, and the manager gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. And the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? Oh la 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, while we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. It's songs of Billy Joel. And so I'm going to pull 4 cards to conclude this reading. So much that is about to shift and change. We have to take one day at a time and accept whatever day, whatever education we get for each and every one day. For the highest wisdom for us today is the Master. Here it's the Master Osho, so it is a card of the Master. For the Master is there. You have your Master Guide that's really near you, and so tune into your Master Guide. What we need to understand is traveling. For we're going to be traveling, we need to travel light, to do what to follow our heart, to know where we need to travel, from where we are called to be somewhere. We find all the right circumstances, and if it only comes from the mind, sometimes for this whole path of ascension is a little bit like we're getting ready for this great big vacation, but sometimes it's like going on a vacation, packing the luggage, getting to the airport, going through the process of registering the luggage, going through security, getting into the plane, getting stuck in the plane. It's very uncomfortable, but then we get into this vacation, it makes the whole trip worthwhile. So it is really what is going on. What we need to do is flowering. The card of flowering, it's sharing, it's blossoming, it's finding this to allow your inner self to enlighten your life. And the outcome is the Fool, is the freedom from fear, is the leap of faith, is completing the cycle. Well, I hope this lecture, this reading was meaningful and this message was meaningful and enjoyable for you. I wish you a wonderful day and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.